Well, notice anything different? Ignore all those tie wraps. It's only temporary unless it works, right? But seriously, so I looked around on eBay and found a Donaldson filter setup. Came with filters and everything. I think it was like, I don't remember how much it was, but got it, and it's plastic. It came with a mount, plastic mount. And I was trying to decide if I would use that. I thought about straightening this bracket out. The more I thought about it, because the plastic actually didn't fit down in there, the metal can. I really feel like the filter size and everything was the same between the two. Just this plastic housing was thicker, and so it didn't fit down in there. And so I got to thinking about it, and I got the torch out because that bottom bolt down there was just nothing left of it, and put some vice grips on it so it wouldn't come out. So heated it up and got it out. Top one I was able to get out. The strap that originally went around the metal filter was just completely gone. And so ended up, I just heated the metal bracket right in the middle and opened it up just a little bit so it would fit around this bracket or this filter. And I think eventually what I'll do is I'll make me a metal strap to go around it. But for right now, because I actually need to use the tractor, I just threw a bunch of tie wraps around it. You know, that if I wanted to, I could leave it like that and it would probably be fine from now on. But I'm sure at some point I'll run across a piece of strapping material and make a strap for it. But I kind of looked around, I didn't see anything, and I'm sure I'll stumble across something I can use at some point. So we're just gonna leave it like that for now. I kind of need to use the tractor. So this is the original intake tube. It's a little bit mouth chewed, but it's intact. You know, there's no holes or anything in it. So we're gonna use it for now. I'll probably eventually, you know, grab a radiator hose or something and throw it on here when I find the right size. It's got the little drain right here and the intake. I wish it was faced this way. That's the only kind of negative thing about this. You flip it around this way and, you know, it's now on the bottom and it's kind of pointing right at the radiator. So what I might do eventually is kind of point it towards facing like this, and then get another little piece of radiator hose or something to put on it to kind of bring it back down. So I don't want it facing up, and so I just faced it backwards. Seemed like the best bet for right now until we can figure something else out. Of course, this is facing down. No clearance issues with the fan. You know, it fits well, so I am happy with that. Threw some hose clamps on it. So now we have a filter set up on this. So we could actually use it. We could test, you know, just do some brush hogging with it if we wanted to. The hood, we're gonna have to figure out, we're gonna have to remake a hood or something. But, you know, the hood will go on it just for, whatchamacallit, storage purposes, but using it, you know, we're not gonna be able to have the hood on it. The hood would be sitting on this air filter. Trying to use it, not ideal. So, because there's no mount left for the front of the hood. So we're gonna have to make some kind of a hood eventually for it. No big deal, you know, we can do that. We might make some kind of a something to bend the sheet metal with. I don't have anything, but we've got plenty of scrap metal. I could use those two. Kind of get it where we could bolt those two together and bolt a piece of sheet metal in between it and get something to hinge and whoop, bend it over, something like that. So I'm gonna start this thing up. I need to get the trailer out, and as you can see, it is super wet. So this tractor works awesome for that. It's got this slide in hitch that is great. You know, this thing's 4-wheel drive. It pulls that trailer, no problem. So this thing hasn't been running in probably 2 months. So I'll set y'all up. We'll see if it starts. And it's its first time running with an air filter on it. So we'll see how that does. We check the coolant. When we had our big freeze here, I threw some deck's cool in here. Yeah, I know. I need to get some kind of, I want to flush this thing more and more. I want to run it and get it flushed out real well. And so I wanted something in it that was, well, I was using up all my coolant for all the other equipment, basically. The coolant that I had, trying to get everything freeze protected. And so ran out of coolant, but I had some used Dex Cool. And so I just threw that in there. It was already mixed. I drained out what was in here, threw that in here. I was worried. I drained the water at first, but I was worried there was some sitting in the block somewhere. So I drained it, cranked it up, and let it run and circulate and get that Dex Cool flowing. And we're just using that as a flush liquid. So I've got a different cap for it. I'm gonna go grab that, a lower PSI cap, and put on here, and then we'll crank this thing up and run it. All right, 7 PSI cap installed. Probably a little low on the pressure rating, but this radiator is, well, you can see what it is. So we're gonna run a 7 PSI cap on it, see how it does. If we end up puking the coolant out easily, then we might step up to a 13, see how that does. But we're gonna try with the 7 and see how it runs with that. So I'm gonna throw a little more coolant in here. It's a little bit on the low side, not really low, but you can see. I'm gonna throw a little bit in it, and then we're gonna crank this thing up. All right, let's let me do a couple things. One, we'll try the glow plugs again with the key. Tried it once before and it didn't seem to work. And then the other thing is I plugged in the little stator alternator. And so we're sitting at 13.13 volts. So we'll see what the voltage is. There's 2 wires going to the stator. They're different colors on the wiring harness and on the stator itself. And so I don't know which wire, and they've got the same plug on them. So I don't know if it matters which wire is plugged up in where, but it's not obvious which one was plugged up where. So we're just going with guesswork. This thing, like I said, hasn't been running probably at least 2 months. Check the oil. Oil's good. I did not check the diesel. Got a yellow jacket right here by the diesel. We're not going to take the cap off since he's bugging us. We're going to look at the little sight thing over here. We got like half a tank of diesel. So we should be good. Vice grips still on the lift, ready to lift up and down. Because the handle broke off. Yeah. Let's see if it'll crank. Oh, and I do have the key. So, transmission's in neutral. We will try blowing it from here, but I don't think it's going to work. Got the key backwards, little lights on. Alright. See if it's got a little indicator here that's supposed to glow. And the glow plugs are working, but I'm not seeing anything. Oh, you know what? It is. I should have been counting. Alright, let's just try it. It's starting to glow. I don't know. Throttle. Oh, neutral safety switch, I guess. I mean, I don't know what to say there. This thing has never started up that easy. I don't know if maybe I wasn't doing the glow plugs long enough, because I was doing about 10 or 15 seconds for glow plugs, We could look back and see on the video how long that was, but that was probably close to 30 seconds before the little indicator on the dash started glowing. But that was impressive. That thing started right up. Maybe the air filter helped a little bit, and I don't see really how, not with the diesel. But yeah, man, this thing is awesome. So, I don't know if y'all want to see me hook up the trailer, but we'll do that real quick. Kind of the next thing we got to do on this thing, I guess, really before we can use it, we could brush hog with it the way it is, but we kind of need to get a throttle linkage on it. Like I said, I can reach in there and do it, especially since we're running with the hood off. I could even put a little extension on it where I could reach and, you know, reach and get to it easier. .5 volts. I mean, man, y'all give this tractor a thumbs up. I mean, y'all, if y'all been following along, if you haven't, take a look at the videos on this thing. This thing was a mess, and it's got a good charging system now. The engine runs great. The wiring on it, I haven't done any wiring on it. All the wiring works. It's chewed up and everything as this tractor was. It works. I haven't touched the wiring on it. Absolutely crazy. I did tie wrap the neutral safety switch. That's it. I tie wrapped it back together because it's blown apart. Other than that, that's it. This thing, I don't know. Super impressed with it. Alright, I'm going to stop the video. I need to load up some straps and stuff on the trailer. So I'm going to do that real quick. Alright, got my straps on, got my ramps strapped down. I need to build a thing to hold the ramps, but to be honest, I really want a bigger trailer. I'd like an 18 or a 20, maybe an 18, but to be honest, if this one was just wider, I'd probably be happier with that. This is the old width. I don't remember what that is, the old legal width this thing was built. I don't know, probably in the 80s, and you know, later on the legal limit widened. I've got a 12-foot trailer that's wider than this one, but it's a single axle. It's just too short to do anything with. So I'm probably gonna sell that one. You've probably seen it in a few videos, but this one's the main one I've been using, the 16-foot, but it's just a little bit narrow. So kind of keeping my eyes out for and I'd kind of like to have a little heavier axles too, so I could carry a little extra weight. This has got 3,500 pound axles on it, so about 7,000 pounds max. And of course, you got the trailer weight with that too. So anyway, would love to have like some 6,000 pound axles or something. I don't know what the 6 lug. Y'all let me know. What's the 6 lug axle weight rating? Had a friend who let me, he kept his 18-foot trailer here. It had 6 lug axles. It was a water trailer. Loved that trailer. He kept it here. He needed a place to store it. Used it. He said, you know, use it all you want. I'm good with people's equipment. Like, I'm one of those guys that I'll bring it back better than it left. And he had bought it brand new, needed a place to store it, and stored it here and told me to use it as much as I wanted. Used that trailer and loved it. And then he ended up selling it. And I didn't know he was going to sell it. I probably would have bought it. And he was like, well, you know, I just hated having it at your house. I felt bad. And I was like, you know, I loved having it here. I loved using it. You know, I would have bought it. But yeah, I would have bought that trailer. It was a nice trailer. Pipe top. Kind of like the square tubing on this one a little better than the pipe top, but it's really just kind of a preference. Either one, definitely prefer either pipe or square tubing like this one over angle iron. This is a really well built trailer, and I've thought about widening it. Like I said, if it was an 18-foot, I would consider, you know, cutting it, basically split it, and replace all the cross beams and widen it out, put some new axles under it. But with it being 16 foot, you know, by the time you do all that, it's about another trailer. Anyway, enough of that ramble. Let's get this trailer out of here. This thing's just a little bit of a tight zip for me. Once you get in it, it's comfortable. Got no glow plugs. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something more on the neutral section so I'm having to push down on it each time. Alternator belt's a little loose, or stator belt. Need to tighten that up. It's stuck in air somewhere. Maybe around here, I don't know. Oh look, we pulled the thing in. Probably pulling it from there. Okay, dude, so what's left on this thing? Return lines coming up here, that's easy. We need to do a throttle linkage. We're going to need to flush the cooling system probably a couple more times. Hydraulics, make sure they still work. I didn't use them today, but yeah, they're still working. We'll need to come up with a lever for the hydraulics. Need to get this bolt out. Puts a little shifter plate there. It tells you what's what. What else? What tells you high and low. I think if I remember right. We need to replace this line right here. Probably bend a new piece. That's just ready. Heater hose right there. I do have some hydraulic hose to put there, but this angle is not quite right, so we need to fix that up. A hood. Probably do another oil change on it. And brakes. And then it'll be pretty much complete. So, good little tractor. Like I said, all the electronics on it work. Very cool. So I'm going to set the hood back on it just to keep it from getting... And I've left the battery hooked up to it as well, and it doesn't drain the battery or anything, so... Get the hood back on it. It's starting to rain. Just keep it dry. So... I just cannot... This tractor, I just cannot believe it. I really cannot. I thought this was a lost cause. I don't know when you'll see this video, but you know, you take a look at this one. This one fought me more than this one did. So, crazy, crazy, crazy. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what was the most surprising thing you saw on this one. Maybe the roach running out of the engine as it first started up, or I don't know, seeing all the stuff in it. Maybe that it actually turned over, broke free, it was stuck. The fact that it doesn't really smoke, burn oil. Let me know. Thanks.